Domingo Germán of the Yankees etched himself into Major League Baseball history last night in what was probably the most controversial perfect game ever. Christian Yelich, his bounce-back season is in full effect. He really made Mets fans question whether or not their season, is it over? I don't know. We're going to have to ask that question in today's recap. And speaking of seasons maybe being over, Cardinals fans, they're asking themselves that after last night's implosion against the Astros. All of that in today's MLB recap, a series in which we recap every single game almost every single day. And a reminder, if you're going to any baseball games anytime soon, use code Fuzzy on SeatGeek. For some reason, I almost said Mike Stanton, but he has not been Mike Stanton in a long time. Giancarlo Stanton belted one long and far as the Yankees offense made sure that Domingo Germán, he really could lock in and focus because in my opinion, like this is just me speaking for myself, but I feel like it's easier to hit your spot when you have an 11-run lead. Yes, the Yankees put up a fat 11 spot on the all-time pitiful 2023 A's pitching staff. They have a collective 6.05 ERA after 82 games. That's got to be a record. So I'm not showing a ton of offensive highlights, and that's not for no reason. Domingo Germán tossed the 24th, maybe the 25th perfect game if you consider Andres Galarraga a perfect game in your mind, but he is the 24th player ever, the first Dominican player to throw a perfect game. He did it on 99 pitches. Now this came after he allowed 15 runs in his previous 2 starts, #baseball, and obviously it was controversial because of not things that happened on the field. Domingo Germán had some things happen off the field at a Yankees, I think it was a charity event, and he had to be held back by a teammate. It was a situation involving him and his wife, so that's why a lot of people are saying, this is stupid. Why is Major League Baseball allowing this guy to etch himself into history? Whereas a lot of people are saying, do we not believe in second chances? So let me know in the comment section down below, which side are you on? Now, this next game was just as pathetic, although the Royals did score 1 run, so tip of the cap to them. I guess that's cool. J-Ram, he has been the best third baseman in baseball for a month now. He's hitting .340 with 7 home runs and 22 RBIs in June after that grand slam. Josh Bell, he almost went 470 feet into the fountains, and then this swing right here cost me a good amount of schmeckles because before the game, I tweeted that if Bo Naylor hit his first career home run, I would give away an all-star jersey, and of course, he went yard 420 feet the other way in Kansas City. That is not easy. That is stupid power, so I owe one of you guys an all-star jersey. 4 more extra base hits from Cleveland made it 14 runs on the day. The Naylor brothers, they got on base 7 times. J-Ram and Josh Bell, they combined for 9 RBIs. Don't let Cleveland get hot. They're 4-1 since Bo's debut, and they're actually in first place now. We'll talk about the Twins game later on. Another demolition job, this time courtesy of the Texas Rangers. Corey Seager, he doubled in Marcus Semien. Josh Young, he singled in Corey Seager. Duran and Tavares, they did the same thing as Corey with RBI singles, but where's the pop at? Okay, there it is. Josh Young, his 16th home run of the season. He's going to start the All-Star game as a rookie. And speaking of rookies, rookie Ezekiel Duran is now hitting .332 with 11 home runs. Adolis Garcia, he joins the 20 home run club. He now has 66 RBIs. He's on pace for 41 home runs and nearly 140 RBIs. Dane Dunning, he was terrific yet again. He struck out 10 Tigers and just barely missed a complete game. He was 1 out away, but unfortunately he was taken out. But that gem lowered his ERA to 2.69. Very nice. He and Nathan Eovaldi, along with John Gray, deserve all of the praise because they have been so good ever since Jacob deGrom went down with an injury. The Reds and the Orioles, this was one of the crazier back and forth games of the entire year, so let's see what happened. Ellie, he drove in the game's first run, and Cincy, they ended up with 3 in the first, but Baltimore, they answered right back with 4 runs. Ryan O'Hearn, he singled in Cedric Mullins, and Gunnar Henderson, this kid has been incredible lately. He tripled in 3 to steal the lead. He's hitting .340 with 16 RBIs and a 183 OPS plus over his last 19 games. TJ Friedl, he tied it instantly, and then Jake Fraley extended their lead on his second RBI hit of the night. Now we're going to go ahead and skip to the 8th. Rookie Jordan Westberg, his first extra base hit resulted in an RBI, and that started another rally when known power hitter Adam Frazier, he went deep, obviously I'm joking, his career high in home runs is 10. He already has 9 on the season, but like I said, this was a crazy back and forth game with this one ultimately needing extra innings. Will Benson, I cannot believe that we traded him for basically nothing. He tripled in the go-ahead. He's hitting .351 with 5 stolen bases his last 57 at-bats. TJ Friedl, go off, kid. His 2-run shot seals it. He's hitting .320 with 21 extra base hits and 14 stolen bases on the season with the stupid 133 OPS plus. Alexis Diaz, he doesn't get the save. This time he gets the W as the Reds beat the Orioles 11-7. That was a fun game. You guys know anytime we talk about the Reds, we got to talk about the Brewers. Milwaukee, they're still a half half game back of the Reds, so they really need to win this one to stay at a half game back. Before the game, Mets owner Steve Cohen, he talked about how the players are pretty much at fault. Like, he needs to take some responsibility as the owner, but the players, they got to step up. And step up, they did not. Jesse Winker doubled in too early, just his 5th extra base hit in 47 games. Tommy Pham, he won't stop ripping covers off of baseball. He has 8 home runs. He's top 10% in barrel percentage, hard hit percentage, and exit velocity. Now, the Mets did tie it momentarily on a bases-loaded walk, only to lose it a few innings later as rookie Blake Perkins singled one in, and Yelly's hot streak continues. After that 2-run knock, Yelly is hitting .330 with a .430 on base percentage over his last 25 games. Cody Bellinger, by the way, is hitting .360 the last week, so I'm a very happy baseball fan right now. Devin Williams, he strikes out 2. He has 15 saves. The Mets are 36 and 44, so that's 8 games under 500. I bring up their record because right now it's looking pretty bad, and Scherzer reportedly said that he would waive his no-trade clause. He's turning 39 next month. He's making $43 million. I don't know if anyone would actually take up that contract, but should the Mets blow up their nearly $500 million adventure, on paper, I still really like this club, and same for this next floundering team, the San Diego Padres. The Padres and the Pirates, I mean, there's absolutely no shame in losing to a pitcher like Mitch Keller, but you got to support Blake Snell in this start because he's been so good, maybe the best starting pitcher in baseball for the last month. He gave up a 430-foot 2-run tank to Carlos Santana. Santana has 8 home runs and 41 RBIs. Keller, he dominated, which is unfortunate for Padres fans because they got to have Blake Snell's back, and they just couldn't. Obviously, they're fans. They can't do anything. But the players themselves, Keller struck out 5 Padres, only allowed 4 base hits the entire night, and after Pittsburgh used contact swing a bunch, they scored 5 runs on 3 singles in the 7th inning. Pittsburgh, they win easy 7-1. The Padres have lost 4 in a row. I guess the silver lining is the Padres are top 7 in ERA and OPS in the month of June, which has to mean good things are coming, right? Here we go, the White Sox and the Angels. It is almost unfair how talented Luis Robert Jr. is. 440 feet for his 23rd home run. It looks like he didn't even really swing, and it went 444 feet. I'm still annoyed that I couldn't vote for him to start the All-Star game, but whatever. Ohtani and Trout, they hit back-to-back triples, so they had Halos fans feeling some type of way, but that feeling went away quick. Sebi Zavala, he hit his first of 2 home runs. Eloy Jimenez popped off for the 10th time this year, and that stings right there. Andrew Vaughn, he clears the bases. He has 49 RBIs on the season, and like I mentioned, Sebi, he had 2 home runs on the day. There's his second. He ended up with 4 RBIs after a 9th inning single. The Chicago White Sox, out of nowhere, dismantle the Angels 11-5 in Anaheim. Earlier, I brought up the Twins losing first place, and it's because of this game right here. Ronald Acuna Jr. and Matt Olson, that combo is one of the biggest cheat codes I've ever seen. If Ronald gets on, Matt Olson is going to hit a double or a home run to knock him in. He's now leading the NL in home runs and RBIs. Braves starting pitcher Colby Allard, he struck out 8 Twins, but he missed being qualified for the W by 1 single out. He went 4 2/3. You have to go at least 5 innings to qualify. And remember how I said he's leading in home runs? He extended it. 26 home runs, 62 RBIs. Raisel Iglesias now has 13 saves. The Braves, they won 5 in a row. And like I mentioned, the Twins are now in 2nd place. The Marlins and the Phillies are trying their absolute best to keep up with the Braves, who are hitting .302 in the month of June, by the way. We'll talk about the Phillies after the Marlins game because Garrett Cooper, he ripped his 10th home run. And after Rafael Devers tied it on his 19th, the other Garrett, Braxton Garrett, he tossed another gem. He went 5 innings, only allowed that 1 run to Rafael Devers. He has a 2.2 ERA over his last 28 innings pitched. Gene, the hit machine, played a 2 in the 6th. And Jazz Chisholm stepped in later in the 8th. He sent one 440 feet. He somehow makes baseball look easy. AJ Puck, he has 12 saves. The Marlins, they won 4 in a row. They have the best ERA of anyone in the month of June. That'll do. So the Braves have won 5 in a row. The Marlins have won 4 in a row. If Philly wins this game, they'll be on a 3-game win streak. This game was over after 2 innings. Edmundo Sosa, he teed off for the 5th time. He rakes lefties, and so does Nick Castellanos. I'm so happy for this guy. He was bad in 2022. He's now hitting .315 with 10 home runs and 49 RBIs. There's another RBI extra base hit for Nick Castellanos, as Bryce Harper, he followed that up with an RBI single. Harper, by the way, has not hit a home run in over a month, so hopefully the power can get going here pretty soon. Harrison, speaking of power, he connected on the Phillies' 3rd home run of the day. They win their 3rd in a row. They are top A in OPS and ERA in the month of June, so they're looking pretty good lately. The surging Phillies actually gives me some hope for this next team, the Seattle Mariners, because on on paper, the Mariners are good, because on paper, I really like the Seattle Mariners. But anyways, it's been well documented that Patrick Corbin of Washington has been MLB's worst starting pitcher for a few years now. So not only did Logan Gilbert give up 3 in the first on a Candelario double and a Kyber Ruiz single, they got shut out. Talking about the Mariners, they got blanked by Patrick Corbin. Corbin was incredible. He went 7 shutout frames with 9 punch-outs. Good for him, because he's been clowned on endlessly over the last few years. Washington, they went 4-1 after Hunter Harvey converted his 6th save of the year. And I just want to mention that Jamer has 38 extra base hits, a 125 OPS plus, amazing defense at third base. The Washington Nationals struck gold with his 1-year deal, because they're going to get some prospects in return at the deadline for Jeimer Candelario. The Giants at the Jays. San Francisco has been playing really well as of late, but boy, did they get humbled in this one. Toronto, they erupted for a 5-run first inning. Bo Bichette, he started it with an RBI single. He yet again is leading the American League in base hits. Brandon Belt, he belted not a home run, but an RBI double off of his former teammate Logan Webb. Varsho and Merrifield, they hit some doubles as well, both knocking in 1 on those 2-baggers. Jansen, his single made it a 5 spot, and we're going to fast forward to the 7th, where George Springer, he's up to 11 home runs and 12 stolen bases. Jays, that was some light work. They beat the Giants 6-1. Now, the Jays are going to need the Astros to lose this one so they can put some cushion in between them and the Astros in the AL wildcard standings. Now, I rarely do this, but I'm going to cut out a ton of stuff. I'm only going to show the home runs. Nolan Arenado, he golfed a 3-run home run in the first inning. Goldschmidt, he extended the lead with his 14th, and no chance St. Louis loses this game, right? Because Nolan and Goldie, they went yard. Yeah, and see, look, Brendan Donovan, he's going yard as well. He got in on the fun. Oh, hold on, wait. Oh, that's gone. Jose Altuve snatched the souls out of everyone in attendance, and then Jose Abreu poured salt directly into that wound. In the blink of an eye, it went from 7-5 Cardinals in the 8th to 10-7 Astros. Ryan Presley, he struck out 2. He has 15 saves. That right there, honestly, could be the dagger on the 2023 Cardinals. Straight up, I don't know if I see light at the end of the tunnel. Arenado, he now has a back injury. I think I'm turning in the Cardinals. I think I'm at that point. Another crazy back and forth game. This one happened down in Coors, and madness, again, it's bound to happen with that thin air. Colorado came out swinging from the jump. They go up 4-zip after 3 singles from Castro, Crone, and Grichuk. I feel like I haven't said CJ Crone's name in a while, and oh yeah, he's been out since May 15th. Nice to see him back. Speaking of back, LA got back into it. Mookie Betts, that 3-run laser beam home run put his team up by 2. He's now in the 20 home run club as well. Now skipping to the 6th, LA's pitching, they folded like a picnic table, allowing a bases loaded walk and then a base clearing triple to their star rookie. Ezequiel Tovar of the Rockies, he's hitting .390 with 8 RBIs over his last 14 games. Elias Diaz, he made it a 9 spot, and thank goodness he did that, because LA, they got all the way up to 8 runs off of Daniel Bard, but Justin Lawrence, he diced them up in the 9th. He has 5 saves. The Dodgers, they barely lose 9-8 against the Rockies. Now, before we talk about where LA stands in the NL West, let's see if they can gain a game with a Tampa Bay W. So this game was all snakes early on, with Arizona going up 2-0 off of Zach Eflin, and the other Zach, Davies, he held Tampa Bay in check over 7. His 7 shutout lowered his ERA to 6.5. He has been terrible this year. So the Rays, they were tasked with facing Scott McGough, who's been very good as of late. Well, that's not very good. Luke Braley, he cut it to a 1-run deficit, and that really sucks for Snakes fans. Josh Lowe's power has completely vanished, but he still got that gap-to-gap power. That 2-run double sealed it as Pete Fairbanks came in. He converted his 9th save. But yeah, the Diamondbacks do lose, but I forgot that the Dodgers also lost right after I talked about them, so the Dodgers did not gain a game. I'm stupid. So here's a snapshot at the NL standings. The Braves are tied for the best win percentage in baseball with the Rays. They're way ahead of everyone in that division. With the Marlins and the Phillies, they're both on win streaks, and the Mets are 17 games back. The Reds, they lead Milwaukee by a half game. Pittsburgh, they've won 2 in a row, so they're not giving up just yet. San Francisco, LA, and the Diamondbacks all lost yesterday, so the standings did not change. As for the Padres, they're 6 games under 500. That's bad, but there's still time, at least in my opinion. In the AL, the Orioles fall to 5 games back after losing 2 in a row, but the Orioles, the Yankees, the Jays are all within 1 game of that AL wildcard race. The Guardians, they steal first place, knocking on all the woods, by the way, because I do not want to jinx my team. I really think that the Minnesota offense is underachieving. They should break out here soon. Texas, they're up 6 games in the West. They've outscored opponents by 160 runs. That's the best in baseball. The Mariners are somehow 3 games under 500 despite a positive run differential. So there you go. That does it for today's MLB recap. Thank you all so much for watching. I really appreciate all of the support as of late. This was a huge recap, so thank you for watching until the end if you did, and I'll catch you in the next one.